The sugarcane fields of Uncle T were wrecked overnight, like a hurricane had rolled through without warning. But this wasn't nature's doing. The culprits, a savage herd of wild boars that tore through months of hard work in just a few hours. The villagers were desperate, so when the call for help came, we didn't hesitate. It was time to hunt, time to reclaim the fields. The question was, would peace return by sunrise? We gathered fast, going over every tactic one last time. Camouflage on, boots tight, radios checked, rifles ready. My thermal scope, paired with a rangefinder, was humming softly, waiting for its moment. Outside, the pickup engine growled low in the cold night air. One look between us and we knew it was go time. The night swallowed everything as we drove toward the pastures, the very place those boars had been raiding after wrecking the farms. I picked a high dirt mound overlooking the open fields. From here, I could control every move they made. Through the scope, the world turned black and white, and then they appeared, a whole pack, creeping out of the darkness, like ghosts. They had no idea they'd just walked straight into our crosshairs. The plan was simple: take out the leader first. No leader, no order. Chaos would do the rest. My breath steadied. Crosshairs locked, finger tightened. Boom, the shot cracked through the still air. The lead boar dropped instantly. The rest panicked, scattering like sparks. Heading north, I called through the radio. Seconds later, John's gunfire echoed across the field. Sharp, precise, deadly. Each shot another boar down. Then came the report. Another group spotted near the forest edge. We moved fast, silent. My scope locked onto a massive one, its thick hide glowing white hot in thermal. I fired. The pack broke again, squealing into the dark, but we were faster. One by one, they fell. Each echoing shot another dent in their invasion. Hours passed. The night grew colder, but our focus never wavered. Another figure appeared through the haze, a lone boar, huge, lumbering toward the tree line. I used the rangefinder, adjusted my aim, and waited for the perfect still moment. One breath, one shot, boom, it hit the ground instantly. Not long after, the radio buzzed again, final ones still running. I turned and spotted it, the last big boar, desperate, searching for a way out. I tracked it, squeezed the trigger, and the shot ended it clean. Silence returned to the field at last. But this wasn't just one night's battle. Across the US, but especially in states like Texas and Florida, wild boars cause billions in damage every year, destroying crops, tearing up soil, poisoning water, and attacking livestock. It's not just a nuisance, it's an invasion. That's why at dawn, our trucks rolled out again. Engines rumbled, breath fogged in the freezing air. The mission pushed deep into the hardest hit areas before planting season began. By sunrise, we hit the first hotspot. The Texas cold cut through everything. Every step, every sound could mean a target nearby. When one finally emerged from the mist, time froze. I steadied, fired, and the bullet struck clean. Peace, momentarily, restored. Elsewhere, John was on the forest edge, rifle raised, heart pounding. Out of nowhere, a boar burst from the tree line, charging straight at him. He didn't flinch. Boom, dropped it mid-charge, barely a few feet away. That kind of composure, that's what saves lives. Meanwhile, David was out tracking fresh prints in the snow when another appeared, head popping out from behind the bushes. Eyes met, it bolted, but too late. The gunshot echoed across the frozen hillside. Another field saved. By midday, we were deep in the forest. Visibility dropped to almost nothing. Every trunk and branch a potential ambush. Moving slowly, we scanned every shadow until I saw movement. A massive boar stepped out, cautious, listening. I held my breath. One shot, boom, down. Just like that, one more threat erased. But the job wasn't over. Our mission extended to the outskirts of nearby villages. Thomas spotted one near a residential zone. Calm and focused, he tracked it through his scope and took it out before it could cause more damage. By evening, the exhaustion was bone deep, but the work paid off. On our way home, I spotted a final one, big, careless, unaware. Boom, the final shot of the day. A clean end to a long, cold hunt. We packed up the gear, loaded the trophies into the Tesla truck, and began the long drive back. Every round fired, every risk taken, all for one purpose, to protect the land and those who depend on it. And here's something most don't realize. These wild boars aren't wasted. The meat gets processed, shared with local families, or sent to plants to provide clean, sustainable food. From destruction comes renewal. But this problem isn't limited to Texas. Down in Louisiana, the same battle rages on. These beasts destroy crops, erode riverbanks, and even charge onto highways, causing deadly accidents. Here, hunting isn't just tradition, it's survival. So when we hit the Louisiana backcountry, we knew the drill. The cold was brutal, but the stakes were higher. We set up across rocky slopes, waiting. When one emerged, I didn't hesitate. Boom, one clean hit. The first victory of the day. Deeper in the forest, a herd suddenly stormed through. John reacted in a heartbeat, firing clean and fast. The forest went silent again. Perfect shot, perfect timing. Then came another. Thomas spotted it stepping into the clearing, unaware of its fate. One steady breath, one squeeze, one final moment. Bang. Down. That's another harvest saved. When night fell, things got serious. To the naked eye, we were blind, but our thermal scopes and drones turned the darkness into light. Through the black and white world of the scope, I watched another boar tearing through crops. That rage in me, it turned into focus. Boom, the destruction ended with that shot. By the time we rolled back in the Canyon Defender, the back was loaded with trophies and pride. None of that meat would go to waste. We'd share it with the locals, light up a fire, and celebrate not the hunt, but the peace restored. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about trophies. It's about farmers sleeping peacefully, crops standing tall, and communities safe again. Every shot, every mile, every hunt, knowing that somewhere behind us, families could wake up to untouched fields again. Because this isn't just a hunt, it's a battle for peace. And as long as the wild boars keep coming, so will we.